Hi everyone, I'm Tiffy and I'm an independent Color Street Stylist, and today I'm doing a new mani for the series How Far Can We Make $30 Stretch? And it is a series, it's just for fun that I'm doing with a color play box. This box I used was July 2024 Color in Motion, and I'm seeing boxes, you know, if you get color play and you're part of the color play subscription, it's $30 a month. And this one came with 4 full sets and a accent pack. And this is our 4th video in the series. So I'm just kind of, you know, seeing how far we can make it go. You know, I'm sure some of y'all can get like probably into the double digits with some of these, but I'm just doing, you know, what I would call just like maybe some basic, you know, easy stuff, just to see how far we can make these stretch. So, you know, because sometimes for some of us out there, money's tight right now, and I'm just doing this for fun, to you know, to help everybody out. This shade that I'm doing today, it is called RoseRush, and it is a neon cream. And look at this. It is, I mean, it is, I love this one. So I'm very excited. I love pink, and I'm excited to start. So, hold on. I did file my nails and do all that, you know, earlier. I'm going to use an alcohol prep pad right now because I did not do that earlier. But it's just an alcohol, just regular. You can do this with a cotton ball and rubbing alcohol. You can get the little wipes. You can use extra ones that you maybe have not used in old Color Street packs. That's what I'm doing right now, where I've done mixed manis and only needed to use one, you know what I mean? So, but I did wash my hands and all that stuff. So I'm gonna let that dry off for a second. Anyway, so this is our 4th, I think this is the 4th one, okay? I'm pretty excited. Making sure I have all my stuff in order, you know, before I get going. So it's a white backing. Ooh, I'm so excited to wear this. So right now it is August 25th, okay? August 25th. I did not put any base coat on, so no strengthening base coat, none of that stuff, okay? Did not do any of that this time. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love this. That's electric. You know, and this is like a perfect summer box. Perfect summer box. I do like the application whenever I use the nail strengthener. And I mean the Color Street one, that's the only one I've used. But like, to me, it just is a really nice application. But I don't, I haven't been using it lately. I'll probably start using it again soon. But of course, if you do, you don't have to, is like I'm saying, you don't have to use a base coat with it. But if you do use a base coat, that's fine. I like to use a base coat, but I just haven't been lately with my manis. I don't think I have most of the summer, to be honest. And so you just know I did use the Out the Door top coat last time. It was fine, you know. I did it the next day. Put on that the top coat. You don't have to use a top coat if you don't want to. I like to use a top coat. I like it. I feel like it's just an extra added layer. Color Street sells top coats also, or you can just use your favorite. I've used different brands. I usually just use, unless I want to do something like specific with glitter or a matte, I usually just use a traditional shiny, you know, sometimes plumping. I used to use plumping all the time. I love plumping, but I've just been trying to go through bottles I already have open before I go back to using plumping. But I really love the plumping. It gives it that extra, I call it the extra oomph, you know? But if you've never tried a plumping top coat, I do encourage you. Color Street sells one. OPI has a really great one. Those are the only two that I have any experience with. This is so pretty. This says summer. Now I am going to assume this is going to fade because neons fade in UV light. So I'm going to just make the assumption that it is going to do that. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes they fade. Let me just look at this really quick. A little closer. My mom was in art school. She had this, it was like this magnifying glass kind of thing that had a light underneath it. And I feel like that's what I need sometimes to do my nails. Those of you that are probably, you know what some of y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But it was like this thing that attached, it had an arm, you know, that attached to the I don't know, easel table. It was like this table that was like at a slant kind of that she had. It was like a diagonal table, I think, if I remember. I was a kid when she was in art school, but yeah. I think I wonder, you guys, how many manis I can get out of this. Now, I did want to say this, that, you know, I have said this every single video, but I'm going to say it on this one also. What I'm doing here is an experiment, okay? Because once you open a package, and you have like an open package, like this is an open package, and you have an open package, and you seal it back up. I seal it with a hair straightener, an old one. You might have other ways to seal it, however you like to seal it, but I do show in some of the videos how I like to seal mine up. they are not guaranteed. They're only guaranteed opening them fresh out of the package. So this is just an experiment. So if you open up a package and then decide to save it and then open it 2 or 3 more times, that's not guaranteed. The strips are no longer guaranteed. So this is just kind of something fun. This is nothing that Color Street has recommended. This is nothing like that. It has nothing. This is just basically, you know, me just seeing how far I can make a box stretch. And I'm sure some of y'all out there already do this. You know, maybe that's all you get every single month is your budget only allows for $30 for you know, your nails. I can tell you right now, you're not going to be getting a $30 nail, going to the salon with $30 and getting multiple manicures, because you could use these on your toes too, y'all. I'm not going to do any on the toes, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, this is the best deal. The only drawback, and to me it's not a drawback, but I'm sure to some people it would be a drawback, is you do not know exactly what strips you're getting. Because if it's a theme. See, like this one was a theme, Color in Motion, and they will just show you maybe like something like this. You know what I mean? And that's what it was on the box. And you know, then when you get there, it's a surprise. Then they tell you what the theme is. You know, they give you a little description. Of, you know, what the theme's going to be like, and then you can decide from there. And you can skip it if you want to. But man, I really like getting the boxes. Some people don't like that because they like to be in control of like every single, you know, item. They don't like surprises and stuff. So if that's the case, that this, you know, subscriptions are not for you. But they are a lot of fun. In my opinion, they are anyway. This would have been a fun one to do for a vacation, like a beach vacation. Look at that pink. Oh, that is just awesome. Wow. I cannot believe, you know why I never opened it? Because the box on the outside does not match what's on the inside. So I got it and I just never used it because I had so many other sets that I wanted to use. And I was like, those are not really shades that I really, you know, care about and to use right now. Because if it was all, honestly, like the box does not match. Like even the background of this, you know what I mean, is not the same. So I don't know whoever did the marketing on that box or the teaser for it definitely dropped the ball. I'm sure whoever, you know, was in charge of that. I'm just, let's see if I can show you kind of, this is what it looked like. You know, that doesn't look like anything. Does that look like anything? You know, no, it doesn't. Including if you want to even get like technical, you know, about this. I mean, maybe that matches it. That little ribbon right there. See that? Maybe that does. But I don't know. Like, I feel like they could have done a better job portraying what was in the box from what was, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, I don't know. Just, and I'll be honest, I'm not crazy about that little that little accent pack. I don't like that accent pack at all, I'll be honest. But all the full sets, yeah, I really like. And it's not the accent pack, it's just the art on that accent pack. It's just not my taste. But every single full set I have loved. This one and Cobalt Blue are probably my two favorites. And this is the blue shade right there that I'm talking about. And then that's the pink. I loved them. It was very pretty. I think it was called Cobalt Cascade or something like that. But yeah, they were all really nice summer shades. Like a good neon though. Any time of year. It's hard to do like a neon though, like in winter, unless you're taking some kind of a tropical vacation usually. But I tend to lean towards those icy or looking ones and glitter, you know, some of the deep shades. I cannot believe that we're almost done with summer. It's starting to, you know, like just a hint of cooling off. Just, you know, it's definitely still hot out there, but it's just not 100 degrees every day, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh. And then I was thinking about it and I'm going, oh, wow, it's going to be fall in like a month. You know, it's going to be autumn. That's just, it's amazing. Had a great it was good summer. I didn't do a whole lot, but it was just nice just to just kind of focus on a couple of things, and that was it. And as opposed to having, you know, something that I was constantly having to do. You know, I don't feel exhausted, but I feel took time to really enjoy the small moments. And I think that's something that sometimes we all forget to do, you know, that, you know, romanticizing your life is, you know, really something that I do encourage. You know, take time to enjoy those moments, make them special. This fall, though, I'll tell you, that's gonna be busy. Fall's gonna be busy. Autumn's gonna be busy. That's gonna be a busy season for me. I can already feel it. It's my favorite time of year, but it's just a lot going on. Like my brother's getting married, all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot happening. Can you just work with me just a little bit, please? I don't like the way that it's not sticking to my nail. There. Yeah, it's not sticking. It's my nail. It's not the strip. This is one, like this nail I do have a hard time with every single time. and it's probably on my fingertips, kind of cold. This is my wonky, one of my, is this one? My pointer fingers have been smashed a million times. Index finger, I'm sorry, not pointer. This pink is so pretty though. I got some of those, you guys, those glitter neons. Ooh, I have not had a chance to wear them yet, but I'm gonna try to squeeze one in because they are so pretty. They're like pastel neons, if that even, I guess, bright. They have like this glitter to them. I love anything that sparkles. Shockwave. I think that's the hot pink one. You guys know that shade, Shockwave. It's not the same as this. It's a little different, I think. But it's also a very pow, you know, kind of neon that man, I love that. I love the orange neons, and those are my favorite. The orange and pink neons are my favorite. And I was a kid in the like 80s and 90s, like, you know, little kid. And I remember about the early 90s when, you know, neons, everything was that, you know, neon, you know, look. I guess I have kind of worn, because I want to say Sure Thing is, in my opinion, that's kind of like a pastel neon. So, is it For Sure? Yeah, I think it's called For Sure. Did I say Sure Thing? It's called For Sure, yeah. It might be, there was like a 90s collection kind of years ago that came out that I really liked. But yeah, and I had all the neon stuff. I had the bike shorts that were all neon. I loved it. I had all the one shoulder sleeve tops, the muscle tanks that I would layer with different, you know, other shirts, you know, tank tops underneath with all the neon colors and stuff. I even had neon crayons. I was a crayon kid. Speaking of crayons, yeah, I had like this ultimate multi, you know, tiered deck. I'm sure some of y'all had it too. Crayon, you know, set that had like every color. It had every single color, and it had I want to say it was like 3. You could like, you open it up and then you like flip the cover like underneath, and it had a little sharpener on the side. I loved that. I'd set in color, draw, and then, you know, whenever I got to a certain grade in school, it was colored pencils, but I never really liked colored pencils as much as I liked the crayons. Now I have colored pencils. I have some of those adult coloring books, a couple of them, which they're kind of fun, you know, just to relax, you know, and color, listen to a podcast or whatever, you know. It's nice. It's very relaxing. Have a coffee, you know, or a tea. but look at that. So I did want to say, if you don't realize about this challenge, I'm not using any additional sets. I'm only using what's in the box. So sometimes, you know, you'll see me do something, oh, like when I do videos, you'll say, oh, I used this from this box and then I added this with it. This is only stuff from this box. I'm not going to add anything extra with it. Boy, is this fun. But I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could like do an overlay with this, but no overlays this time around because I'm doing a little challenge that I made up for myself. You know, the stretch $30 challenge. Color play, stretching it, see how far we can get. Oh, come on. I was gonna say, did I just give myself a wrinkle? All right, I have got it over the cuticle right there a little bit. I will try to do our best at making it look good. So if any of you guys have used this box specifically, I would really like to hear what your thoughts were on it, what your favorite set was, or, you know, this was from last year. Keep in mind, this is not one that, you know, was from July of this year. July of this year was different. Wasn't anything like this. If you're wanting to sign up for the Color Play subscriptions, you can check out my links below, and it will take you to where you can make your purchase and sign up for Color Play, and you can try it, you know, see what you think. If you don't like it, you can cancel. It's cheaper than a buy 3 get 1 free. Gonna say that. The only thing is if you're somebody that doesn't like surprises, meaning you don't like to, you know, wait and see what you're gonna get kind of a thing, it's not gonna, you're gonna not enjoy it. I already can tell you that right now. So you have to like those types of surprise boxes, you know. There's plenty of other companies out there, I'm sure that most of you guys know, that do those types of surprise boxes like that. And if you're not somebody that would want to do one of those, you're definitely not going to want to do this one. I'll tell you that. But I like it. I've actually been doing these more than the individual sets. Probably for a while now. Just because I've been really liking them, and some of the individual sets I just haven't like loved, you know, as much as these. So to do the buy 3 get 1 frees. Okay, there we go. What do you guys think? I think it's awesome. Pink is my favorite color though, so wow, I like it. So tell me what you think, and don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video. I do appreciate it. It does let me know that you like this series, and I might do another one if you guys really like it. But I'm gonna keep going, and we'll see how many manis we can get out of this box. This was number 4.